Hey everybody, it's Chase with AV Pop Culture again, and today we are here to do a quick little 4K review of the new Godzilla -1 Steelbook. Got a few little special extras, so we're going to take a look at it all. Pop that tape in, I got you, let's go do this. All right, so Godzilla -1, the newest Steelbook release here that sold out all over the place so fast. Now, if you guys know, we can't really take a look at any of this visually because Toho flags everything. Like you can't put anything in here without it getting flagged on YouTube. So we're just going to talk about this release and what I thought about it. This was a first time 4K watch, first time watch for me. And the first thing I'm going to say right out of the gate was I like the movie. I don't think I like the movie as much as a lot of people. And we're going to get into that in just a minute. First thing we're going to do is take a look at the Steelbook. If you haven't seen it, it has this cool slip on it here. So you slide that off, and then the Steelbook is like a nice matte finish, but man, does it look cool. Very, very cool. Then you open it up, and this is actually a 3-disc set. So you have the 4K, the Blu-ray, and a bonus disc in here. So it's a 3-disc set. One other super cool special feature you got in here is a poster. How cool is that? A Godzilla -1 poster. Very, very cool. It's something you don't always get with like a, I mean, I know this is not quite what we would think of as a studio release, but it's similar to that. So you get a nice little poster with it. The sleeve I dig, man. Like it's a rubbery, almost feeling plastic. I really like it. If you notice though, there is nowhere, nothing tells you like the special features. That's what I was like, what the heck is going on? So when you pop it in, like you have to put in the bonus disc to find out any special features on here. I feel like the teacher in class, they would hold up the book when they're reading it and show you the pictures. But it is 100% subtitled. So if you don't like subtitles, it's going to be hard to watch the movie. All right, so a quick little additional update. I went back and double checked, and for some reason, when I popped it in last night, it was kind of reading it like it had already been in my player. So I missed a little bit of the menu, and that's why it felt clunky. But the menu is fine, and you can find a English dubbed audio track. So if you don't want the subtitles, it has a pretty decently dubbed English track. They both have Dolby and it has Atmos, but the English track, like a lot of times when you get dubs, they're not good. I would about rather, listen or read subtitles, even though subtitles are not my favorite. The English dub is pretty good. I didn't rewatch the whole thing because I came and did this video, but I got over there and I started watching. I watched like 15-20 minutes of it. And the English dub is pretty good. Like, you get a lot of good acting. I mean, some of the stuff, words are not going to always translate exactly in meaning and feel, but you do get that in here. So I'm going to go back. You're going to see me go back to probably my rant about the clunky menu. The menu's still doesn't have a lot of options to it, and it does not tell you the special features. So I double check that. You have to put in the special feature disc. Nothing on here tells you and the disc's over there. Nothing on here tells you the special features. You have to put in the disc or look it up online. So that's still weird to me. Like, give us there need to be like a J card or something inside, like a slip inside, that would have helped. But you do have the option to listen in English, and it's pretty good. I still think I would probably, even though I don't like subtitles that much, I would probably just watch it with the subtitles because the action translates. Doesn't matter. But just kind of remember that when you're watching What Else I Said, because I missed that the first time, but I wanted to come back and throw it in here. So back to the regularly scheduled programming. Now, I have a little extra special feature. We're going to get into the bonus features here in just a second. I have a little extra special feature here from my man Blockbuster Box Sets that just elevates this thing even more. So we put it in here, and then we have the Godzilla -1 slip box. Look at that. Instantly a premium release. Take a look at that. Artwork, super cool. So my favorite thing about this movie is how Godzilla looks. That is my favorite thing about the movie. And the 4K here is absolutely awesome. I was like maybe 15 minutes into the movie, and there's a big opening sequence with Godzilla. He attacks on the island towards the end of World War II, or right at the end of World War II. And there are these fighter pilots and stuff there, and he comes out and attacks them. And I'm just sitting there dumbfounded. And I actually text my buddy Brian over at the Last Movie Standing, and I'm like, how did they do this with the budget they had? How did they make it look so much better than some of the crap that we get CGI-wise? And like, when you think about, some of the stuff out there, like that's bad CGI, and you're like, these people did this movie for like less than $10-15 million, whatever it was. Let me fix my camera there. They did this movie for this low budget, and yet it looks better than what most of the studios that are pumping out $250 million budgets are doing. Whatever they did in this movie, like the people who did the special effects, that did the CGI work, they need a lot more work, because they need to be hired for a lot more work, because they are blowing people away that have 10 times their budget or more. Because I thought Godzilla looked the coolest, like maybe one of the coolest ever that he looked was in this movie. I just really dug. Very, like, he had a classic look to him, but kind of fresh. And the effects, like when he would sustain damage and then like his skin would repair itself and all this, man, this is a very cool movie from a visual standpoint. The colors pop out, the sound is amazing, and all that kind of stuff. Absolutely love it. From a visual standpoint, it is a visual feast for the eyes. There is no doubt about it. Like, if you want to pop in and test out your 4K with something that has a lot of effects in it and sound and stuff like that, jump all over this one, because visually this is awesome to look at. But then we have some other issues. And this is just going to come down to like taste preference. I'm not someone that likes to read subtitles a whole movie. I just never have been. If I want to read, I'll read a book. That is just a personal thing though. So that's like not a knock against the film at all, because it's, it was made in Japan, right? It's all in Japanese, and that's totally fine. And a lot of people have no problems with subtitles. Sometimes some people even turn them on for native language just to help understand what they're saying. I don't like to have to watch subtitles more than here and there, like for something. But this is subtitled all the way through, and that's a knock, but again, personal. The other thing is the parts in between Godzilla can feel slow and off track. The movie is really long. I mean, it's a pretty long movie, and there are parts where it feels like it's dragging. It really does. At least to me, the pacing needed to be a little bit tighter. Runtimes, normally I don't feel like, I'm not the person who always wants a real tight runtime. If a movie is really good, I usually don't pay attention to the runtime. I'm not a runtime complainer, but I was looking it up because I forgot to look. It is 2 hours and 20 minutes long. So, but there are these moments in between Godzilla stuff that go on a really long time and don't feel like they're necessary. Like they could have been cut tighter. And again, maybe that's just a preference thing, but for me, it was just a little slow in places. Now, a lot of the Godzilla stuff made up for it because it was bad to the bone. But, you know, a lot of it in between there was like, you know, do we need a dinner scene for like what felt like, I know it wasn't this long, but it felt like 10, 15 minutes. There's just different scenes in there that just felt like they dragged to me in between. And I'm looking because the other knock on it I have is there's no information anywhere. Like, and when you put it in, when you put the 4K in, it just gives you like this option to select English and then like play. It's very limited. The menu's very limited. You get the 4K, you get the Blu-ray, but then the bonus disc, I had to look it up, what's actually on the bonus disc. First of all, the thing does have Dolby Vision and HDR. It has a Atmos audio track that's in Japanese. And it has, on the special features, it has behind the scenes Godzilla -1, original trailers, original TV spot, a Ray of Hope, which is a featurette, some different stuff on the worldwide praise, and optional English and Japanese subtitles for the menu. Now, this says that it has an English Dolby True HD audio track as well. I did not see an option to select an English audio track on here. So I will go back and try to find it again. Again, the menu is hard, kind of was weird to navigate for me. But I will try to go back on there and I'll add it to the info here if it's on there. But I didn't see an option to listen to this in English. I only saw an option for English subtitles. But that's what's on the bonus features. It's a very, very cool release. It is one that's very hard to get a hold to now. Like if you want it now in the aftermarket, if you can't find this in stock anywhere, if you want this on the aftermarket, it's going to be like 2 or 3 times the price. And you know, you get something like this, you know, you could ask a lot for it. I like to have all the Godzilla movies that I can get. So I will add this to my Godzilla collection, and I'm happy to have it. And I like a different take on Godzilla that also feels familiar. My favorite thing, I'm just going to go back to it. My favorite thing about this movie are the action sequences, but how Godzilla looks. Like, I think he looks awesome in this movie. And being a filmmaker who has had to stretch no budget and try to get things that can compete with horror audiences, because mostly mine were horror, off of absolutely almost no money, or relatively no money compared to bigger budget horror films. I am so proud of these people for what they did for the money, and I have so much respect for them for what they did. But this movie, I mean, it's probably not one I'll return to a lot unless I want to show off. Now it'll be one of the ones that I go to check out digital effects and stuff like that when I get my OLED TV. This will be one of the first ones I go to watch to check out digital effects because they're that damn good. They're that good. And I had a good time watching, if nothing else, like the mayhem. Like they used to tell me, distributors would tell me when I was making my horror films, they would want me to go back always and add, believe it or not, more blood, more sex, more nudity, things like that, because they said that kind of stuff is visceral and it translates to in any language. So even if you don't speak the language and there's a language barrier, that stuff translates. The action in Godzilla translates to any language. To any language. You don't even need to read what they're saying to know their fear, to know Godzilla's a badass, to know what's happening. You don't need to even read it. You don't need to speak their language. It all translates. And that part I think is really cool. And I enjoyed the action of the film. Film's a little slow for me in places, and just a personal preference thing on the subtitles is what it is, which I knew that when I got it. If it does have an audio English dubbed track, I will let you know. I didn't see that option, and the menu's a little clunky. But and there's nowhere to find the special features listed anywhere, nowhere. So you have to actually go online or actually pop in the disc to find out, that it's got HDR, that it's got Dolby Vision, it's got all that kind of stuff, because it is nowhere to be found on anything, which is very odd. Very, very odd. But I thought that, just on cool factor alone. See, I'm a little confused because I thought anything that had Dolby, it does say Dolby, but it doesn't say anything about Dolby Vision, doesn't say any of that kind of stuff. But anyway, maybe a little more info, but a cool release, and glad to have it. And I'd like to hear your thoughts on the movie. If you got it, if you got this release, if you got a standard release, because there's a standard release out there, let me know your thoughts on it. I am interested, and I just want to take a quick look at it. That is my review. This is a very different review than I normally do. Usually I have clips, and I can show you what I'm talking about and everything else. There's no way that Toho's going to let that happen on YouTube. Every time I tried, it just took it and said no. And so we're just talking about this one, but we do all kinds of stuff here. Physical media news, 4K reviews from a fan and filmmaker's perspective, lists, rankings, how-tos, all that kind of stuff. If that sounds like your jam, please like and subscribe. It really does help me out. And if you want to help support the channel, you can join below at my Patreon link or right here on YouTube. Few dollars a month, depending on the tier you pick. It helps support the channel. You get your name in lights. You get access to my filmmaking behind the scenes, special members only videos, all kinds of stuff, and you help support the channel. I always put the links to everything that I'm looking for in Chase's target list below in the description. Also, any kind of deals, anything like that, I put them down there. If you use the links, that does help out the channel too, and I really do appreciate it. But until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye. Godzilla. Godzilla. I know.